Make sure that's off the. Sometimes the. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. The webcam will wind up focusing on the mic, so we'll leave it like it is. And opening my first item in the fridge on stream. It's funny. I look a little glassy-eyed, like I've been drinking or something already. I have not. I don't know. I guess that's just the way I look now. I don't know. Yeah, we're early. I mentioned. I mean, this is a last second thing, not planned. It's just kind of whatever, whatever happens. No specific topic. EUCs, fires, life, whatever you want to talk about. Pressure washing. Talk a lot about pressure washing since I did that for 5 hours yesterday. I'm in the middle of a extended weekend. I was off today, off yesterday. Our office closes on Veterans Day, so I actually have a 4-day weekend. So I'm happy about that. There we go. Okay, here we go. David Mitchell is waiting, but David Mitchell is not here right now, so that's okay. Like I said, there was no significant announcement, so I'm just gonna ramble. And I thought it would kill some time. I pulled out my first edition of Inside Out. You might have remembered me talking about that in the last stream. That's interesting. I don't remember that being in here. There, I just opened up the page and there's a card from Iron Lou. That's interesting. If I knew about this, I don't remember it. It's interesting that that's sitting in there. Iron Lou is a friend of mine from the calisthenics days when I was hardcore into calisthenics. Lou lives in the New York City area. All right, so I'm just paging through here. Is that my first? Oh, wow. My first entry ever from October 9th, 2002. And this entry reads as following. Yep, why not blog? Things happen to me too. I can be boring and drone on as well as the next guy, so sit back, relax, and try to stay awake. That's my first blog entry ever, back from 2002, 19 years ago. That's kind of funny, to me at least. Because I am the talking neck with the irritating voice after all. All right, so let's see. Let me just flip through here. This is quite interesting when I flip back and look at these things, because obviously a lot of things happened 19 years ago, and your thought processes on things 19 years ago are probably different than they are today in most cases. I see I'm talking about back then. I was just kind of getting into RC planes. And there's a lot of entries about that. That was. I go through stages with hobbies, and I'm really into them for periods of time, and then I'm not. Happened with volleyball, although that was like a physical aspect to that as well. RC planes, drones. Later on, I'm very into them, and now I very rarely do anything with them. Cars. I've had several project cars that I kind of gave up on. My last hobbyist car was my 2005 Chevy SSR, and when I bought that, I thought it was going to be like the vehicle that I take to my grave with me. Even though I plan to get cremated, If I was getting buried, I almost could imagine me getting buried with the SSR, and even that changed after 3 years, 4 years. I don't remember how long the time period was, but I no longer cared about it the way that I once did. Oh wow, talking about Xbox too. Wow, so I guess I got my Xbox in 2002. Really? Wow. All right, I see a couple people here, not many. It's all a matter of if it gets sent out on YouTube or not. So let me do this. Okay. Let me just put this out here. Like I said, I did mention 8 o'clock, so maybe some people aren't even paying attention. Okay, let's do this. Starting off with Miller Lite, by the way, I do, like I said, I'd like to get rid of all the alcohol in my fridge. Now, it's probably not possible because I would probably be asleep on the floor if I actually did that, but I want to make a good dent. I still have 2 Coronas in the fridge. I have this 4th of July Miller Lite, and I have a number of Miller Lights, conventional Miller Lights in bottles. And I do have one more Skanky Zima in there, although I don't know that I want to drink that tonight. Okay. Why am I not seeing this? What the hell? Okay. I just found a YouTube channel that I'm sure a lot of people already know about because I think they have like 12 million subscribers or something crazy like that. But I'll plug it anyways, even though they obviously don't need the help. It's called Daily Dose of Internet. And it's basically like 3-minute videos, I would say is the average length, 2 to 3 minutes, more like 3. That's just these short clips of unique things that are currently circulating around the internet. Because sometimes I do get to see these things, sometimes I don't. And I find it very interesting. And I find those 3-minute videos go by like that, and you're just instantly hitting next, because you just want to see what's coming next. So, yeah, Daily Dose of Internet. If you like your stuff in little 3-minute chunks, good channel for you. All right. Hey, Willow of New Zealand. I sold my Lamborghini Countach replica. Sold my latest sport car for Z10. You sold a car for a Z10? I would hope that you get more for the car than what a Z10 would cost. It's interesting. I took my Z10 out tonight, actually. Took it to Dunkin' Donuts. So Lamborghini Countach replica. So it looks like a Lamborghini on the outside, but it has like a Fiero, Pontiac Fiero inside. I'm curious. I have heard of some of those kind of cars. EUC Vibes is here with that cool little emoji or whatever you want to call it that indicates that he is a member. Welcome, buddy. Yeah, I haven't done a member check lately. Let's see if we're still at 10. I haven't looked to see if we picked up anybody the last couple days. Let's see. We look here, and then we look here. Nope, still got 10. Okay, holding at 10. That's cool. Oh, cool. You just came in. I grabbed my Inside Out first edition. This is the very first. I think I mentioned on stream last time that my dad years ago got the idea to turn my blog entries into mini novels. And the very first entry on here was from 2002. I forgot the exact date already. October 9th, 2002 is when I first started the blog. Yeah, I mean, this is within a couple of years of me moving to Florida. That's interesting because people have always told me before I moved to Florida, they always said 3 years is a magic number. If you stay in Florida 3 years, you'll probably stay long term. If you're going to leave, you get sick of it, you probably leave within 3 years. So the blog was actually started when I was still in that 3-year time period. Wow. I really do need to find the time to sit down to read this at some point, but I find a hard time finding the time to do things like this, unfortunately. Those of you that just tuned in, I was off today. I was off yesterday. I celebrated Veterans Day by pressure washing the pool cage area. In Florida, it's more, at least where I live in Florida, it's sort of a requirement to have a pool cage. If you don't have a pool cage, you are going to be eaten alive by bugs. So I have a pool cage. And unfortunately, because of all the rain you get during wet season down here, it gets disgusting. It gets covered with like black mildew, like green algae. It gets really nasty. So I have to hit it with a pressure washer. And the pool cage is, let me see, can I share the file? Let's see if I can do this. I'm not sure if I can do this, because it only wants to, come on. Let's go. No. Why would you sort by, okay. See if you can see this. Oh, what the hell? It only wants to share a video. It won't share just a picture. Oh, geez. Okay, hold on. I can overcome. So let's share again. Let's share this. Let's share this thing. There we go. There is my pool cage area. That's what I pressure washed. So as you can imagine, it's a pain in the ass. As you can see, there's high areas, the high frame over top of the cage. And the only way that I can reach that is I have to put all of these pressure washer extensions on so I can get close enough to actually blast the shit off. And in total, I mean, at some point, the wand is like 6 feet, 7 feet even maybe. And I'm sitting there just trying to support that thing and blast this shit off the frame that's 12 feet away from me. It sucks. So I clean the whole outside of the cage, and then I come inside, blast all that framework, because as you can imagine, you have to go on both sides of the frame and the bottom, and it's a lot. I had to pressure wash the screens. Even the screens had green shit on them. I had to do that, outside and inside. And then when you're done doing all that, the last part is you have to pressure wash the deck itself. Because the deck gets gross as well, and then all of the shit that comes off the frame from cleaning it is down on the deck. So yeah, you just back and forth, and you clean the deck. And that's a task that needs to be done at a minimum twice a year, probably 3 times a year. Probably should be done more, but it's so freaking tedious, man. I don't enjoy it. But that's the end product. That's after I was all done, after 5 hours. So I'm sure you really want to know that, but like I said, I'm just talking and drinking. So, all right. Okay, so Will of New Zealand, I was asking about his Lamborghini replica. So it was built on a VW frame. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So was the body fiberglass, I assume? Something like that? It's cool. I mean, I've seen those cars, and it blows me away that someone has the patience to do that. I would not, and the skill to do something like that. I have neither of those things. Will I ask, I'm not tipping beer down the sink. Nope, I'm not going to tip it down the sink. But I'd like to, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'd like to make a nice dent a nice dent in what's left in there. Because I mean, there's probably 12 beers. And I can't drink 12 beers. It would be ugly. It'd be a shit show. I mean, I want to be functional tomorrow somewhat. So, but we're gonna make a dent in it, and I'm getting rid of that Corona. I got 2 Coronas left. I'm gonna choke them down no matter what. I might actually try that after the Miller. Usually, if you deaden your taste buds a little bit first with beer that doesn't taste like piss, it's you can drink other stuff easier. At least I can. EUC stir. Where's your EUC storage over the pool? Find a better place. Yeah, I had to change my M10-3 storage. I didn't like the visual of having a board over the corner of the pool. And it's funny, when that video was made, it was poking fun at the Gotway situation and their official advice for charging your wheels outside. And unfortunately, that good-natured ribbing has turned into something much more serious with the rash of fires lately. 3 or 4 more Gotway EUCs have burned up in the last week or two. And then you tie that in with the e-wheels fire, which certainly appears to be battery related as well. I actually talked to Jason last week. He called me, gave me a little bit more detail about the whole dilemma, and it does not sound great. I am not jealous of Jason for sure. Slick looking pool. Well, that's a pano shot. Pool's fine. It's nothing. I think the picture makes it look better than it is. That pool was built in 2003, so it's fine. I'll tell you, the house was built in 2001. The pool was built in 2003, and the vast majority of people that own a pool, almost similar to people that own a boat, except it's not exactly the same, but so many people that buy a pool or have a pool built, they'll say it's nice to look at, but after the first year or two, in most situations, you wind up not using it hardly at all. It just sits there looking nice and requiring maintenance. And that's kind of where mine's at. When DJ is over, sometimes we'll go in the pool, but in regular situations, I just won't hop in the pool just for the hell of it. And when it was first built, I did, because I spent, I don't know, $25,000, $30,000 on it. So yeah, I used to kind of use it more. And also my mom was alive then, and she was actually living with us for a period of time. So she really liked hanging in the pool. So I used to use it more then. But the last 10 years, 15 years, very, very minimal use, unfortunately. But it is nice to look at. What is this? This kind of comments, can I ban this person here? Okay, I'm going to block them. Those spam comments, every video I put out there, like in the first 5 minutes, and I'm sure it's an automated bot that does it. It's these, stupid website URLs. It's so annoying. And I try to report them to YouTube, but obviously it doesn't really make much of a difference because it's an automated system. So they block one user and 10 more pop up. So it's kind of like, I don't know, what's it like? It's kind of like trying to build a sandcastle when it's raining. That's kind of what it's like. Will says his Lamborghini replica, tube, steel welded frame, foam sculpted to shape, then fiberglass of skin. Really? So was that street legal? Is that street legal? I assume you live in New Zealand based on your username. maybe New Zealand has some lax rules. So anyways, yeah, pool cleaning, did that. Today I didn't do as much. I was kind of tired from doing all that. Although I did do my road bike, my 10-mile road bike training, which I've been doing for the last 2 months, 3 months maybe. I used to be riding Cindy's Echelon indoor bike, and she actually has that now. And I transitioned to riding a road bike again. I have a Trek road bike, like a middle range road bike, and I've been doing a 10-mile ride on Fridays. And I did that again tonight, even though I did not work today. And it's fun. It kind of supplants. I used to always run on Fridays, and since I haven't been running anymore because of back and knee and hip issues, I can still road bike. So I try to go at a challenging pace for me for 10 miles. It's I think today was like a 35-minute ride. Works for me. As you get older, you have to kind of adapt. If you ignore what your body tells you, you will pay. So after I did the road biking, then I grabbed my Z10 and I rode it to Dunkin' Donuts. Let's do this differently. Share window. There we go. Yeah, I rode it to Dunkin' Donuts. I did it yesterday as well. I took the V11 to Dunkin' Donuts yesterday. I really appreciate suspension. Z10 doesn't have suspension. I just have to be more mindful of bumps and things that can cause impact to my joints on the Z10. On the V11, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to pay that close of attention, because if you do hit something, it's going to more than likely eat up that impact. So I really do appreciate suspension, but riding the Z10 was great fun today as well. Lots of fun. And let's stop sharing that. And I actually hit the speed warning for the first time. I was using the Bluetooth speakers. I was like jamming out to some Linkin Park, and all of a sudden the music stopped. And I was going at a decent speed, so I couldn't hear the music that well in the first place, but I could tell that the music had stopped. And then I was focusing, and what I heard was the warning sound, the speed warning sound. I actually had touched, I think it was going 27 or 28 miles an hour. And that's the first time I actually hit the upper speed limit on the Z10. And it gave me like a little nudge, a little pedal lift, nothing bad. Surprisingly, it wasn't that bad at all. And I keep dropping my coaster on the ground. So we're going to switch to a different coaster that is less likely to stick to the bottom of the beer. All right, we're getting a few more people in here. Not a lot, though, 16. This is what happens when you just spontaneously announce a live stream. Okay, so Will says you can pay to have the custom car legal. I never bothered. Yes, you live in New Zealand. Now I may be the person in my vids on road riding Z10. What's the status of EUC's New Zealand? Are they strict with them? Are you restricted somehow? And if you guys want to talk about anything in particular, the live stream is called the AMA, which those of you that don't know stands for Ask Me Anything. So yeah, ask me anything. Of course, I do always reserve the right to not answer if I deem that to be the appropriate response. But you can ask me anything. But if you are a if you are a spammer that pops in here with illicit websites, you can't ask me about that. Oh, there's David. What's up, man? Scotland. All right, so 6 hours, right? 6 hours ahead. So it's 2 a.m. Is that correct, David? I appreciate you checking in. The EUC stir. How stoked are you for the GT? I'm stoked. I'm excited for it. The prior, I mean, some people have been poo-pooing it, of course, and then the one wheel community can be very opinionated. Let's put it that way. And a lot of people, not a lot, but some people are saying, oh, well, the GT, if an XR with this mod and that mod and the other mod is as good as a GT. Okay, well, yes and no. You can get more range with an XR, and there's other mods, tire mods you can get, and bearing mods. You can get all kinds of mods. Wow, my hair looks really bad, doesn't it? Look at that. Put the hat back on. But of course, all those mods cost a lot of money. But the bottom line is the GT, the XR was rated as a 1.5 horsepower device, which is kind of a funny way to rate an electric vehicle, right? Horsepower. But the GT is rated as a 3 horsepower device. So simple math tells you it has twice the power of a XR. Now, until the general public gets them in their hands, you have to take them at their word. Although there have been some videos of the one wheel test guys riding them, and they seem thrilled to have the GT. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's put it that way. I feel much better about the odds of getting the GT before I get the KingSong S20. That seems pretty certain to me at this point. David says it's 145 there. Okay. Well, it can't be 145, right, dude? Because it's 8:14 here, or 8. Is that right? Is my clock right? 8:14, 8:15. It's 8:15 here. So unless you're in a weird time zone that is an additional 30 minutes behind me, or if there's such a delay, maybe because there is always a chat delay when you guys post it versus when I see it, but I don't think it's that big. Probably not. So you're getting back to the GT. Yeah, how stuck? Didn't you say that you ordered one as well? I thought I remembered that in the comments. EUC stir. I'm excited. Definitely. People generally seem to like the Pine X's, although I have heard that there's been some issues with the front sensor pads not working great with some of them. But generally, the feedback on the Pine X's have been good. Okay. All right. So regarding the wheeling rules in New Zealand, Will says it's a gray area. E-bikes are okay in the path, on the road where practical. I've had 18 interactions with police, no tickets yet. I stopped at lights and such. Well, that's good. Politeness will get you, a long way in some situations. When you had those interactions, what did they say? Did they indicate that it's a problem? Or do they indicate that they're not sure? Or do they say it's fine? I'm curious. MeUC on my EUC. Yeah, I think you're at the last live stream, right, buddy? Some time zones are 30 minutes behind. They are? Really? Shit, I learned something new today. I didn't know that. Time zone in India somewhere that is a half hour off. How does that happen? It's weird. Very weird. Do you in Scotland, David, do you guys have do you do daylight savings in Scotland? There's a bunch of people in the United States that would like to do away with it, which I'm fine with it. I don't really care either way. Even though like right now with my new reality, it's actually better for me that the time went back an hour because of the chicken chores that I do in the morning before work. So now I actually have sort of daylight towards the end of it, where before the whole thing was done in pitch darkness and the chickens didn't like it. So it's a little better for me now. But outside of that, I don't really care. Although I'm not a big fan of coming home and it's dark, 20 minutes after I get home. That kind of is a bummer, because then I can't get anything done at home during the week outdoors, unless I want to work by a flashlight. MeUC says, is the Pint X more carby than the Pint? I would think it would be very similar. I think the tire is the same, really. Yeah, I think the drive, other than the bigger battery, I think the drivetrain is the same. I think the tire is the same. The stock Pint, my Pint that I had, was definitely more carby than a stock XR. Now, you can get a rounded profile tire on an XR and get a very similar feedback as a Pint. But out of the box, a Pint was definitely more carby than an XR, definitely. And at first, it was a little weird. At first, I was like, oh, man, I feel shaky in this thing because it's so twitchy. But once you get the hang of it, sort of like an N10-3, once you get the hang of it, you're like, oh, wow, this is actually, this twitchiness and unstableness that I felt initially is actually... it's actually fun once you get the hang of it. I mean, you can just throw it around super, super easy. Seaster says, yeah, the GT will be my first. Okay. Oh, for some reason, I thought that you had a one wheel in the past. Okay. You've only ridden a friend's Pint at this point. All right. All right, one down. All right, I'm going to go get the Corona lights, or one of them, and get started on that. You can't hear me out here, but I'll talk anyways, because I am the talking neck. Right? I am the talking neck with an irritating voice. How many of you guys know what that's all about? The talking neck with an irritating voice. I've referenced it in a video or two so far, and I've referenced it on the live stream here. Just curious how many people actually know what I'm referring to. Oh man, this stuff is it's the worst. It's the worst, but it's got to go, man. Got to drink it. Okay. When countries are so large like China and India, major cities can be just halfway between the two time zones. So they give them their own time zone, 30 minutes off. Really? I had no idea. I did not know that. Ola from Sweden. Hi from Sweden. You put a deposit for S20, right? When are your expectations shipping from KingSong? Yes, I did put a deposit on it. Like I mentioned earlier, I did speak to Jason primarily about the warehouse fire or the repair center fire. But towards the end of the conversation, I did ask him about the S20. And even though I already knew the answer, I said, I assume that the initial ship date of end of December is not going to be met. And he indicated no, that it would not be met. But there's not a solid date to really give people yet. It sounds like KingSong might still be working out a few details, and until those details are worked out, you can't go into mass production, right? I apologize. I'm gonna make that face probably with every swig of this gross beer, man. EUC Chronicles. Hey, what's up, man? Flip's here. Nice, bud. I'm watching on the Xbox, but just want to say hello. Hope is all well. Oh, watching the Xbox? That's cool. I haven't used my Xbox in so long. It probably doesn't work anymore. And I think I have the Xbox 360. It's been that long. But those you don't know, Flip, he has an EUC channel, and he does videos sort of along the vein that I do. A lot of just talking while riding. Just talking about stuff, EUC and non-EUC. So yeah, I try to catch his stuff whenever possible. So if you like the kind of videos that I do, you probably would enjoy some of Flip stuff as well. So yeah, check it out, man. Me you see says thanks for that info. Are one wheels go-kart wheels? They look so similar. Yes, I believe they are. I believe the original XR and One Wheel Plus tire is literally off of a go-kart. Now, since then, there's been One Wheel specifically, because the market is so big in the United States. Tire manufacturers then went on to make wheels that are specific for the One Wheel. But the original tire, I believe, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's literally a tire that was used on go-karts. Yep. A very flat profile, which is good for stability, not so good for maneuverability. Hey, Leo's here. Leo from Brazil. What's up, man? Yeah, no problem, dude. It was this was a short notice thing. Just felt like doing it. Just felt like drinking some alcohol, talking to the people. I got some sad news yesterday. Yeah, was it yesterday or this morning? No, I think it was yesterday. There's a guy that when I lived up in Pennsylvania, I used to play volleyball with and against him. That I found out he died. He died Thursday, I think. Thursday. Yeah, he was only 43 years old, and he died playing volleyball. He was literally playing volleyball, and he had a heart attack and died. So that was kind of shocking. You just never know. 10 years younger than me. You never know when your ticket's going to be punched. So some solid advice is to do what you can with the time that you have. That would be my advice. I'm trying to do that best I can. So Will is referring to how the police interactions have been in New Zealand. He says they say, "Wow, that's amazing. Don't ride in mall. No vehicular area, please. You can ride away." Okay, well, that sounds good. I've never ever had any police interactions down here in Florida, but I am, generally speaking, pretty conservative in my riding and respectful and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to keep myself out of trouble and to not draw undue attention to myself. Unfortunately, that cannot be said by everybody in the EUC community, but that is the motto that I go by. Me, you see, said, "I love the talking neck with an irritating voice troll. He gave you the best name." It was funny. I could laugh at myself. I know a little bit about this guy, not much. And those of you that don't know, he's a guy in California that didn't like the fact that I put a poll up if I should talk about the latest Yoshi hijinks, which I never did a formal video on it, and I don't plan to do one. But he didn't like that I even put a poll up about it, and he emphasized that by describing me as someone with a talking neck with an irritating voice. And I've never been told that my voice is irritating, so that's a first. But I picked up the ball and ran with it, much like I did with the No Skill Zombie Rider moniker. I have no problem taking negatives and turning them into positives satirically. It's kind of fun to do that, actually. Okay, so EU Seaster, the current series is go-kart tires. Okay, so that is correct. Yeah, the GT. I actually ordered the treaded tire on the GT, and the GT is using a non-standard size tire, which that was another thing that some people were critical about. They said, "Oh, Future Motion's making a custom tire size, so you can't get third-party support." But evidently, several of these tire manufacturers, like Burris and I'm not sure who else, but anyways, they already indicated they will make tires for the GT. So that shouldn't be the issue that some people thought that it might be. How is Jason doing after the great burn of 2021? Not well. He has a lot of things to figure out. Obviously he has insurance, but I don't think the insurance is going to cover his losses, or even come close to covering his losses. He told me that that warehouse had somewhere in the neighborhood of 55,000 parts in it. 55,000. That's going to be impossible to replace. I mean, he had stuff that was older, as well as newer. It's going to be impossible to replace. Unfortunately, he is in a temporary space out there. I guess they have a temporary space that they are trying to help people out. But now he has to try to get parts in, and then this is coordinated with the 900 watt-hour battery pack recall that he is doing himself. This isn't Bugatti being generous. This isn't Bugatti saying, "Oh yeah, well we have a problem. All these wheels that are burning up, they appear to have these 900 watt-hour packs." They don't give a shit. He is taking it upon himself to do this recall on his dime, which I was unclear about that until I talked to him about it. Yeah, he feels strongly enough about the potential danger that he is replacing these packs, and he's still moving forward with that despite the fire. So, I mean, some people might say negative things about e-wheels. There's the outliers that have had a negative experience, but the overwhelming opinion about e-wheels is they're a quality organization. And Jason really cares about what's going on. Like there's been multiple situations where he has put the load on his back to fix things. I remember when he paid to have the larger pedals prototyped for the KingSong 18XL. For American riders, he had the supersized pedals set up for and paid for all that expense. He is paying for custom battery packs for Gotway wheels. Moly cell, I don't know if they're all moly cell packs, but mostly moly cell packs with far superior chemistry, far superior durability, better BMSs to reduce potential risk. Now, one thing that we can talk about is I saw Adam's video, Wrong Way, where he talked about the whole fire deal. I think it's like a 25 or 30-minute video. It's pretty long for him. But the Cliff Notes version that I took out of it, and he talked to Ulf a lot. Ulf, I've had Ulf on the live stream once, and I talk to Ulf periodically, who used to be a KingSong rep. He knows, a lot about EUCs and batteries and the electrical systems that are using EUCs. In a nutshell, what's going on? It's a multi-pronged problem. Gotway is putting cells in these packs that have a high internal resistance rating, and one of the side effects of having a high internal resistance rating is it cuts into the sustained amps that this cell can deliver. If you want a high performance cell, you want something with a low internal resistance rating. It can deliver more amps that way. Because of cost and whatever other reasons, who knows in Bugatti's mind what they think sometimes. They were making packs with these cells that are not rated for a high current draw. So you would think that typically, if you're using a pack that has limited uh, amps available, that you would factor that into your firmware. You would limit the amount of draw that could come off that pack within safe specifications. Well, they don't do that. They allow these cells to be taxed beyond their rated capacity, and that is what is causing a lot of the instability in these packs. Is that's the Cliff Notes version of what I took away from Adam's video, and yeah, I mean, I already wasn't buying any Bugatti wheels, and I mean, not that I needed any more convincing, but they're just. I'd be fine if they go away. Really, I don't need to deal with their shit anymore. I really do not. UC Vibes, how you liking the V12? It's great. The only thing, if it had suspension, it would literally be a perfect wheel for me. It really would, as long as I keep the pressure low. You guys might have seen the last video where I talked about the e-wheels fire. I also had a scary wobble that set in on the V12. I had just added air to the tire, and I didn't know my speed, but I'm guessing I was maybe around 20 just after leaving the house, and it wobbled bad, really bad. I mean, you can see it on video how violent that wobble was. And as soon as I stopped and just let a little bit of air pressure out, it was fine again. Now, a lot of that is has to do with my riding style, my bowed legs. Typically, in most situations, I don't have significant contact with the shell, so that can lend itself to that kind of instability, and that's part of the reason that none of my wheels I ever run higher than 30 psi. So. For me, that is the answer. For other people, it is not. Because, like, if you're the kind of person that's jumping stairs or jumping curbs, that kind of PSI, you're asking for bent rims. So, yeah, you have to act accordingly. That beer didn't seem too good. What, this beer? I'm still working on it. No, it's not good. Don Scott, that's a new name. Max Headroom, let's make bacon. Okay. That reference went over my head, but that's okay. MeUC says, if you enjoy the talking neck with an irritating voice stream. Yeah. Yep. One crazy wheel. So sorry for your loss. Which loss? Oh, my ex-volleyball opponent. Yeah. Yep. Last time I saw him was probably maybe 10 years ago, something like that. I went to, because he's from Pennsylvania, because I'm from Pennsylvania. I went up to play a tournament up in Pennsylvania, and I believe that's the last time that I saw him, a long time ago. Yep. The older you get, the more you have to get used to losing things, people, situations. You lose things as you get older. Your health, your well-being, your ability to do things that you used to be able to do. Yeah, you lose that. So Ola, talking from Sweden. Up in the north of Sweden, we have about 6 hours of daylight, dark when you start working and dark when you come home. Hate it. Yeah, I've seen some of the videos of like people that live in Alaska, you know, the bizarre stuff where it's like dark all day, and then other parts of the year it's like light all day. You know, that would be, I mean, I like anything, I guess you get used to it, but that would be weird for sure. One crazy wheel. What part of Florida do you live in? I live in Southwest Florida in the greater Naples area. Oh, one thing I forgot I wanted to mention is I did sell the Dualtron scooter finally. I had that on Facebook Marketplace for 6 weeks, I bet. And of course, I didn't get what I originally listed it for, but I got enough, to make it worth doing. So I no longer have a scooter in the garage. It was just sitting there. It's a Dualtron 2 Limited. Great scooter. Had less than 500 miles on it. Yeah, I originally bought that because I wanted to give Cindy something to ride while I rode on the EUC, longer rides, because one of the issues that she had was, she because when she was riding EUCs, she couldn't go as long as I went. And I thought, a scooter, high speed, easier to control. And it's sort of worked out for a little while, but then even that was not really ideal. So the Dualtron scooter is no more. One less PEV in the household. I have definitely been trimming down my PEV collection for sure in total number. I think at one point I had maybe 12 different devices, counting everything. And right now I'm at 7, maybe. Trying to be a little bit more reasonable. Bill H. Hello there. Nice surprise catching the live stream. Yes, Bill, this was a spur of the moment thing. Cynthia says humility is one of the most. Cynthia, hi, Cynthia. Cynthia is also a channel member, as you can tell by the cool little thing of a bobber by her name. Humility is the most overlooked virtue, but one of the most important. Yes. Yeah, I definitely am self-deprecating. Yeah, I'm. Oh, here we go. Another spammer. I've never had these spammers in live streams. I had them in videos. Okay, we're gonna block you, Mr. Webcam, whatever. Oh yeah. I agree. Humility is overlooked. Yeah, nothing. Well, there's other things, I guess, but seeing someone that has that thinks very highly of themselves, it's a big negative for me. Like a bragger, someone like that. That's not something that I find to be a great personality trait. Don Scott, Yoshi is what we don't want as PEV riders. I agree. And we'll just leave it at that. I agree emphatically. One crazy wheel. I would love to get into EUC. I've been a unicyclist. Oh, I think you left a comment on one of my videos, bud, right? Yeah, I recognize your name now, One Crazy Wheel. Yeah, there's been other people that have ridden conventional unicycles that have gotten into EUCs. And there's been people that ride EUCs that have gotten into unicycles, conventional unicycles. I would say you will have a much easier time moving to an EUC than someone with an EUC will have going to a conventional unicycle. I think that the skill set is very unique. But it's funny, some of you guys might know the name EUC Extreme. He was like one of the very early extreme EUC riders. I don't remember. He's in Europe somewhere. His thing is he would have the original M Super, it was an M Super V2, I guess, that he had all this armor on it. He had modifications to the system board. He had a studded tire on it. And he had this armor that was ridiculous. I mean, he was fully decked out with big boots and these wrist / hand guards that were molded, so you couldn't even really bend your hand. Full face helmet, of course, with ridiculous bright LEDs on it. And he would ride his M Super V2 in the snow, on a banked course in the snow in the woods, and it was really something to see, especially way back when. I mean, I'm talking, God, 5 years ago at this point? And he has since gotten into conventional unicycles. He has an off-road unicycle with a huge fat tire on it. And I just saw a video of his this morning or yesterday. And yeah, that's what he's doing now. And as far as I know, I don't think he does anything with EUCs anymore. So One Crazy Wheel has a 5-foot tall unicycle. Wow. How do you mount a 5-foot tall unicycle? I don't understand how you could even do that. Don, devastating. I assume you're talking about the e-wheels fire. Do we have to block more? Oh, come on, man. All right. Okay, some people are giving One Crazy Wheel some advice about EUCs. 6 foot 215. I mean, the V12 would handle you no problem. The KingSong S18, the V11, they would all handle your dimensions without an issue. Well, I think I'm blocking the webcam bot, and I think they're coming in as different users. Let's see. I've never used a moderator on my stream. Let me, because I'm going through the StreamYard interface. Let's go here. Let's turn off sound. Okay, so it shows that I hid them. All right. Hidden. Okay. Let's see. All right. I can make someone a moderator. Who wants to be a moderator? Even though I will hide those messages once I see them. But I can do that through the, I don't think I can do it. Yeah, I can't do it through StreamYard, but I can do it on YouTube directly. MiUC says, I love the Nikola Plus wheel. I had a Nikola Plus. I just don't get a Nikola Plus with 1800 watt-hour batteries, because that's using the 900 watt-hour packs. And there have been several Nikola Pluses that have burned to a crisp. One Crazy Wheel says, you put $900 into your unicycle? Wow. Hey, man, if you're into it and it brings you, pleasure, go for it. What the hell, man? It's better than a drug habit, right? Or a Corona Light habit. That's for sure. One Crazy Wheel says, I used to be able to hop over a pallet and clear it. I could hop up in a 16-inch high and also drop in on a 6-foot quarter pipe in the skate park. So are unicycles, are they similar to a bike situation? Like, when you pedal, it goes forward, obviously. But if you stop pedaling, can you drift on it, or do you have to be constantly pedaling the entire time? I guess you do. It makes sense. Yeah, you have to be constantly pedaling because you have to be able to slow down if needed to maintain balance. So, okay, I think I answered my own question. That's a lot of pedaling. Don Scott, be good at selling Switchblade knives to preschoolers, as it were. Yeah, they just don't get it. They don't get it. And I think the more it's talked about, the more, and I think Adam did a really good job, breaking it down as far as like what was going on there and what is going on. And as long as I've been in the electric unicycle hobby, Gotway and now Bigodi has had these issues, quality control issues. And people keep saying, oh, well, they're different now. They're different now. No, it's the same thing. And the only way that either it changes or they go out of business is people stop supporting them financially. Those are the two ways it changes, really, because that's the only way it's going to get their attention. Bill H says, Jason and eWheels team has always been excellent in after-sales service. Yes, that was what attracted me to them initially. My first couple interactions with him were very positive, and that's why every order I sell in the 3D store, I include an eWheels referral card, because I think they're worthy of referring. That's my opinion. Will says, carve that wobble hard. Yeah, I have heard of that. People saying that they carve their ways out of wobbles. For me, the biggest thing is just not tensing up. I've just because of the way I ride, I do get slight wobbles pretty routinely. It doesn't freak me out. And when I had the V12 wobble, I tried to stay, more or less relaxed, and I was able to decelerate, and it went away. But they can be super, super scary. One crazy wheel. Do all EUCs use inner tubes? No. Most do. Almost all of them do. The Z10 does not. My M10 III, almost time to stand. My M10 III does not have a tube, even though you can get a tubeless and a tube variety of the M10 III. And the new Veteran Abrams is tubeless as well, which I still don't really understand the advantage of that. Will, sorry for your friend. I'm 52, loving wheeling. It's very therapeutic. Yeah, it is. Like I mentioned, the last 2 days, I've been off, and I've been able to take one of my wheels to the Dunkin' Donuts and just freaking exist, and just enjoy the feeling. It's like I've never skied, but it's almost like feels like skiing on dry asphalt. It is therapeutic. It is, and you wind up discovering things that you wouldn't discover otherwise. I know I definitely have. More webcam girls. All right, block the user. EUC Vibes asks, does the Tesla count as one of your PEVs? No, I don't count that as one of my PEVs. I am going to be taking my Tesla on a long road trip. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I probably did, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not going to get through all these beers talking this much, that's for sure. I'm taking my Tesla to my sister's on Thanksgiving. She lives in a suburb of Dallas. It's like I think Dallas is like 1,000 miles or so from where I live, I believe. I think I punched it in Google Maps, and that's roughly what I got back. So yeah, I'm going to be taking the Tesla there. It will be my second longest road trip I've ever taken on a Tesla. I took my Tesla Model 3 to Pennsylvania once, and that's 1,200 miles one way. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm going to actually leave on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then drive as far as I can Wednesday night, and then I'll be driving most of the day on Thanksgiving to get there. So it should be fun. Road trips on Teslas, like that's something a lot of people have a question about. Like with an electric car, what do you do? Well, if you have any car other than a Tesla, it's not a great time. But with the Tesla and their supercharger network, one of the biggest advantages Tesla has is their charging network is far, far superior than anything else out there. The car, like if you put in a destination to California, whatever, it intelligently routes you through superchargers. It knows approximately what your battery level is going to be at different areas in the trip. It knows approximately how long you have to charge at each supercharger, and it will intelligently route you through these superchargers. With a high-speed supercharger, you can go from 20% battery charge to 80% in half hour or less. So by the time I grab some food, go to the bathroom, come back out, I'm generally ready to go. Check my emails. It's not nearly the inconvenience that I thought it could possibly be. So yeah, Teslas. No, I don't count it as a PEV. Was that the answer you were looking for? I don't know. Me, you see, I'm a UC. Oh, okay. So you're talking about the Tesla, the Bugatti Tesla. I've never ridden the Tesla EUC. Definitely, it's a 16-inch wheel, very torquey. It kind of always looked like a big MCM 4 to me, and but I never. I mean, I know Marty had one. I think he got rid of it. So yeah, it's a decent wheel. I wouldn't buy one, but it's a decent wheel. Ola's going to bed. All right, man. Thanks for checking in from Sweden. Thanks for giving up your evening, Def, to chat with all of us. Oh yeah, sure. If I wasn't doing this, I would probably be watching Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi came out on Disney Plus this weekend. So since I'm not watching that tonight, I will probably watch that tomorrow night. And I also need to see Eternals, which is only in the theaters. I doubt that I'll get there this weekend, but no, the Eagles play Sunday. Maybe next weekend. I'll target to go see Eternals next weekend. I have not seen Eternals yet. I'm a big Marvel fan. So, yeah, that's what I'm giving up in exchange for getting through some of this beer. Oh my, I have a Nick Plus. Me, you see, yes. Yeah, if you look up Gotway Fires, you'll see a number of Nicola Pluses in that list. Oh, wow. Really, Bill? Okay, so Bill H says that the new V12 firmware, you can change kilometers to miles per hour on the on the display. Finally, you can finally do Imperial speed display on the actual screen on the wheel. Okay, I did not know that. Because it's weird. Like you could do it on the app. The app shows Imperial measurements, but you couldn't do it on the display on the wheel. Okay, good. Well, I guess that gives me a reason to download the latest update for the V12. When did that come out? I did not hear about that. EUC vibes. I checked the webcam. The lady was ugly. Don't waste your money. All right. I can't say I've ever checked one of those links out. Thanks for doing due diligence for us. I appreciate it. Waterproof and fire prone you mean not waterproof, right? Referring to Bugatti wheels. That's another issue that they have is their water resistance is historically poor, to put it mildly. MiUC says, well, I think more people will be buying KingSong suspension over Bugatti suspension. I think that is definitely the case, for sure. The Hero is overpriced, and all of this bad press is. I mean, there's going to be people to buy them, but I think that number is significantly less than it would have been even a year ago. I think the S20 looks kind of awesome. We're seeing more and more little quick clips of the S20, and everything I see I like. So I can't wait. UC Vibe says, I die my way out of wobbles. Yeah, that's one way to do it. You can just dive off the wheel. I don't know. Maybe you meant dive, because obviously you're not dead. So yeah. EUC Star Duff, they are called freewheel unicycles. Oh, okay. What I was describing is a freewheel unicycle. So, like, yeah, but wouldn't that be an issue if you could freewheel it? then like if you're in a situation where you have to counterbalance, how do you go backwards if you have to balance? I don't know. I don't know much about unicycles, obviously. All right, good. I think I'm caught up in chat, which means that I can go get my next and my last Corona Light. Oh, so a freewheel unicycle needs brakes and can't go backwards. Because I saw on EUC Extreme's unicycle, like he had, it looked like a handle that he was grabbing in front of him. I wonder if there's a brake on that as well. Maybe there's a brake on that grab point. Oh. That was too big of a sip of Corona Light. All right, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Entertain yourselves. Elsa! What's up, baby? Okay. More shitty things. Whew. All right, this is a big moment. The last Corona Light in my refrigerator. We're gonna get rid of this disgusting beer because it is disgusting. Let's move you back over here. Okay. Oh man, so gross. Okay. Already talked about that. A freewheel unicycle needs brakes and can't go backwards. Okay. Cynthia says, a beer is bad if you need to add a lime to make it taste good. Right. Yeah, exactly. And I don't have any limes, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe that would help. Get the skunky, disgusting taste to a more bearable level. I don't know, man. Stuff's terrible. You see, sir, the brake goes right below the handle. Off. Okay, so that must be what he is doing when EUC Extreme. Off-road regular unicycles frequently have brakes too for better control on steep declines. Check out the Unigeezer on YouTube. All right. I'll keep that in mind. My man Rocky Top is here. Rocky Top, who has the 3D printed stand operation that makes mine look like absolute horseshit. I still can't believe that video that I saw of his that just showed how organized he was with everything he does with his stands compared to me. But yeah, no, he's a good guy. Elsa, come on under. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to mention Rocky Type. Maybe I'm curious if you ever run into this. I have my first order that's going to go to Russia. I've sent stands and parts all over the world: Sweden, Brazil, Japan, Hong Kong. Trying to think where else. I mean, France, Great Britain, all over the place. But I've never sent anything to Russia in the, I don't know how long I've been doing this now, 3+ years. Never sent anything to Russia. So I'm going to be sending something to Russia. So I'm curious how that goes, how long that takes to get there. I mean, it's funny. And I guess the guy was trying to save some money because it's obviously, as you can imagine, it's not cheap to send to Russia. He asked if I could send one of these to Russia as well. From Cool AF. Correct me up his name. Atticus, who makes these, who I believe a younger kid. These nylon bumpers for the Sherman. His website is coolaf.com, just to give him a plug. Spelled KEWLAF.com. That's his website. He sells these nylon bumpers for the Sherman. I see a bunch of people actually have been buying these. But anyways, this guy from Russia wanted to save some money on shipping. So he asked Atticus if he could send this to me, and then I put this in the same envelope that I'm going to be sending his stuff. He bought a Sherman full face headlight helmet and a stand. So he asked if I could just throw this in there as well to save him money in shipping. I said, okay, I guess. So yeah, that'll be going out tomorrow. My first shipment to Russia. So hopefully it gets there. I've had some stuff sent to Europe that literally has taken 2 months to show up. Now that was during the worst part of COVID. So maybe it's not so bad now, but I don't know, man. It could take a while. If someone's using their extreme emoticon, it's one of the things you get as part of being a member. Humble Schizo. It's a creative name. What's in the name, right? Rona, yeah. And the funny thing is I actually have, I think maybe I talked about this. I actually have a Corona Light t-shirt. It's a white shitty t-shirt that at this point has holes in it. That is one of my work t-shirts. It's a shirt that was given out as part of a volleyball prize for a tournament that I was in 10, 15 years ago. Still have it. But I thought since when the coronavirus started, I always thought it was funny wearing my Corona Light t-shirt. So yeah. So I have a t-shirt, but it's not because I think the beer's good. It was given to me for free. Oh, Kimberly's here too. Kimberly is Rocky Top's wife. I now know that, Kimberly. Oh, yeah. Kimberly, I don't know Rocky Top's real first name. Can you tell me? Because I know him as Rocky Top from YouTube and from the Electric Unicycle forums. I don't know his real name. I'm embarrassed to admit that, but I do admit that. Cynthia says, German beer for the win? Really? Oh, that stuff. I mean, I don't think that's good either. I mean, I've had some. That stuff seems so bitter to me. This is skunky. German beer is bitter. At least the German beer that I've had. Dos Equis. I've had Dos Equis when Cindy and I took a cruise for her 50th birthday. First time I ever had it. That was down in the Bahamas. I had Dos Equis. It was okay. Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was definitely better than Corona Light for sure, without a doubt. Okay, Bill H. talking about the new V12 firmware just released 1 day ago. Long press on the kilometer screen asks you to do a change from kilometers to inches to miles. I assume you mean. You had me. Oh, it does actually say to inches. Okay, it had me confused for a minute. Lost in translation. Also, the screen shows the time of day. Okay, well that's kind of cool. Yeah, I need to do it. It's funny. Because as far as I know, I still have the V12 firmware that came with the wheel. I'm a batch 1 V12. And I actually went into the app and looked for updates, and it said no updates available a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Because there's definitely been an update since my wheel was released, where they changed the wave sound or sound wave. And I did not get that offered to me. So I will, I need to make a note to do that, because Alexa, remind me to update V12 firmware tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Okay, I'll remind you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
There you go. The power of Amazon. As long as you don't mind them listening to you all the time, you can do helpful things like that. Okay. Humble Schizo. Duff. So which upcoming EUCs do you have in pre-order? Only the S20. What have you guys thought about Marty's feelings on the Commander? Obviously, it has a lot of range. It's a 3,600 watt-hour battery pack. And Marty told me that has the upgraded e-wheels batteries in it. It's not a Bugatti pack. It's the upgraded e-wheels battery packs. Now, I don't know if that only happens if you buy the wheel from e-wheels. I would assume so. But the wheel that Marty is testing is e-wheels Commander that supposedly has the upgraded battery pack. So if you buy your Commander somewhere else, you're not going to have that battery pack. So you might not have the same results that Marty is having, just FYI. One negative that he's noticed with the Commander is it runs hot. Like most recent Bugatti wheels, it runs hot. They gave him a cooling mod that supposedly dropped the temperature 20 degrees Celsius, supposedly, according to them, where you basically take a Dremel or cutting tool of your choice, an acetylene torch, whatever you want to use, and you cut a bigger hole behind the headlight. And you also drill some additional holes in the front and the back. And Marty did all this stuff in his meticulous Marty way, and his real-world test showed it didn't make any difference. It still ran hot. So, yeah, I have no need for a Commander. I mean, and it's basically a Bugatti in an extreme bull's shell. So yeah, no interest in that. And it costs $4,000. Oh, so Rocky Top has sold some stands to Russia. Yeah, how did that go for you? Where you going, honey? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, baby? It's okay. How did that go? Was it a smooth process? I mean, did the stands get to them in a reasonable amount of time? I have no idea what to expect. Russia is good. South America is difficult. Yeah. Well, I sent a T-shirt to Leo in Brazil. I don't know if Leo's still in here. How long did that take, Leo? It was either 6 weeks or 2 months. It was pretty ridiculous. And he said that's kind of par for the course in Brazil. Ukraine, make sure the name is in English. Yeah, no, the name's I have the name in English. It's Igor. Humble Schizo, I'm pretty sure you've seen me wearing the T-shirt referring to the Corona Light T-shirt. Yeah, you probably have. I have worn that. I think I have worn that, and I have made commentary about wearing it on video. Kimberly, Rocky Top's name is David. David, all right. I mean, do you prefer to be called Rocky Top, or do you prefer I call you David? But I do feel better, actually, knowing Rocky Top's real name. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate it. Me, you see, bitter is good, referring to German beer. Harold Rushton, bourbon for the win. Yeah, I've never been into liquor, really. I think the last live stream I gave my story about rum and then what happened to me on rum. Yeah, I very rarely have liquor. Even though what they say, liquor is quicker, right? And it does make sense. Not a big liquor guy. Cynthia, Crown Royal. Didn't you mention that last live stream? I think you identified yourself as a liquor drinker, Cynthia. I'll take your word for it. I mean, I could do it, especially after drinking this. I could do shots of whatever. It would probably be a bad result. I remember one time I was at a work conference. I don't think I told this story. Maybe I did, but I don't think I did. At IT conferences, generally speaking, a lot of them, there's a lot of alcohol involved after hours. You spend all day in these mind-numbing, mostly conferences where it's boring. And so when they have these events afterwards, these social events, you drink a lot. And I remember at this conference, I don't think I told this story. Because my honeymoon story was good, and this is probably second as far as stories. At this conference, after the classes were done, and this was back, and I was probably in my late 20s. This is up in Pennsylvania. I worked for a company called Ameridata up in Pennsylvania, and I went with a coworker of mine, a friend of mine at the time, and they had this social thing. And at this social thing, I drank the equivalent of a bottle of white wine myself, I believe. And then after that, we went to the hotel bar. And at the hotel bar, I went from the wine to drinking White Russians. White Russians kind of taste like milkshakes, right? What's in a White Russian? I don't even remember what's in a White Russian. Is it rum again? I don't know. But I had White Russians. And again, drank way too fast, just getting stupid, silly. And then it hit me. And I remember, I don't remember a lot of it clearly, but I remember that I wound up in the men's room by the bar, threw up in the toilet there. And then I remember my buddy dragging me up to the room. I got to the room, and then I somehow wound up throwing up in the tub and kind of passing out in that position, if I remember correctly. It was bad. And that was, I actually almost forgot about that. That was a really bad experience. I remember like little bits of the night. I remember we were in a hot tub at some point and all kinds of weird shit. So generally speaking, my interactions with liquor haven't been good. So I would say for the last, I don't even remember the last time that I drank it. Like I used to, when I started to drink, I told the story before that I only started to drink when I was 24. My thing that I used to drink exclusively was Long Island iced teas, which is a mixture of is it 7 different liquors? Oh my God, dude. I mean, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous. But my first marriage was a shit show. So I didn't really care. Okay, back to the questions. EUC Stir, Hofbrauhaus is fantastic. All right, never heard of that one. Oh, hate mail's here. What's up, man? How things in? You're in Australia, right? Welcome, buddy. EUC, you can have your EUC sound like a Justin's car, slave, motorbike, a freaking horse, Tron bike. Oh, really? Oh, are you talking about on the V12? All right, guys. I'm going to go get my V12. I want to see if I can do the firmware update right now. I'm excited. All right. You can't see it, but here it is. My V12 is here. Now, I want to see. Do you still have to lay it on its side?
Be careful.
To do the firmware updates? I thought you did. Let me. All right. I want all this cool shit. I want to have miles per hour. I want to make my V12 sound like a horse or whatever. So I'm gonna be pissed if I bring it up. Okay, I'm connected. Like I said last time. Oh, new firmware detected. Look. Come on, camera. New firmware detected. Confirm. Here we go. All right, so the new version is 1.5.4. The new features, split ride modes. Well, they already have that. Optimize the active sound wave. I guess that's the additional stuff. Optimize the UI of the touchscreen. You can switch between metric and imperial. Yes. By long pressing the speed unit on the screen. All right, we're doing it. Update. Downloading. I know this is very exciting for a live stream, but I am excited. I will definitely take the V12 out this weekend because I heard that like the newer firmware updates actually improved the writing characteristics, even though I was pretty happy with the way that it felt as is, but supposedly it's even better. So, all right, we're upgrading the firmware, guys. Thanks for the heads up. Will's leaving. Be well and prosper. Thanks for stopping in. Harold Rushton in moderation. I assume you're speaking about liquor. Oh, Cynthia, you don't drink? Okay. I mean, I from watching my live streams, you would think that I drink a lot. I don't. This is the first alcohol I've had in November for sure. And I don't know, did I drink? Well, yeah, the last live stream I drank, and that was October. But I think the last time I drank was the last live stream, to be quite honest with you. So, no, I don't drink much either. Bill H. Marty had me when he was on the side of the road taking the front headlight out with a putty knife and taping it in with painter's tape. Still no improvement. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, for whatever reason, for the last, I don't know, a couple of years, it seems like Bugatti wheels just run hot. You know, it's not like they haven't had a lot of time to perfect it, but it seems like they are worse with. Wow. Updating main board, waiting for device updating. Wow. You hear all this shit going on back here? What other EUCs make these kind of sounds? Oh, we're downloading something else. Okay. Okay, now we're updating the driver board. So that was just the main board that got updated. Now we're doing the driver board. Inmotion really does make good wheels. You know, obviously they have some issues, but overall, I really like Inmotion wheels. I love my V11. I love it. I love the riding experience in the V11, and I love the V12. You know, even with some of the warts, overall, I much preferred, and I love that I now have an alternative to Bugatti wheels if I want to ride 30 miles an hour. You know, my options were the Sherman and Bugatti wheels. So the V12 goes 30 without sweating. Me, you see, love White Russians. Oh, so it's vodka? Okay. Kahlua and cream. Okay. Well, there's like coconut stuff, right? Because I remember it tastes. Well, maybe not. No. That's a pina colada. Okay. Yeah. Well, whatever. That mixed with white wine was Throw Up City. So, dang, Def, I'm traumatized for you from that story. Yeah. I've probably had maybe 4 or 5 really bad alcohol experiences, and all of them pretty much have involved hard liquor. Like one time I was up in Pennsylvania visiting my buddy, and I drank a total, I'm trying to remember the count, 16 beers over the course of a day. We started probably early afternoon. And yeah, I think I had 16-ish beers, and that's the most beer I ever drank. And of course, I was drunk, but I didn't throw up. It didn't make me throw up. So, yeah, I've kind of just been more of a beer and a Zima guy, even though obviously Zima is not a thing anymore. Humble Schizo. I love the build quality of the Abrams. Everything seems well secured and well oriented okay. Yeah, it seemed. I mean, yeah, it looks. The build quality does look good. It's a big wheel. It's like monster size, and there's not a lot of people. That doesn't appeal to a lot of people. And there's been some, now again, these are pre-production wheels, but there's been some negative experiences with the Abrams, including potential cutouts, just instability. So I'm very curious. Once more people get their hands on them, maybe they fix the issues that I've heard about. Maybe they haven't, but hopefully they have, because it seemed like an odd second wheel for Veteran to come out with, in my opinion. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, compared to the Sherman, it definitely seems more polished visually. Definitely, it looks more polished. I'll absolutely give you that. No, Duff, read the chat before the Jetson one. What? Jetson. I'm not gonna be able to find that, man. Especially now. I don't know. Are we talking about the V12? V12 noise. Bill H says, okay, so it's the talking about White Russians again. It's the alcohol live stream. Vodka, Kahlua, and milk. I can relate that drink in Long Island iced tea. Those days are over for me. Another story, I don't think I've told this. My buddy, the same buddy that I had 16 beers with, it was a bachelor party at a local bar in Pennsylvania, small dive bar kind of place. I think they had a erotic dancer there and stuff. I think I don't really remember it. Again, that was a long time ago. But they had like shaker cups or shaker thermoses, basically. That's what they reminded me of kamikazes. You ever have a kamikaze? Again, I don't know what's in them. It's clear. I remember that. But again, I drank. They went down easy, and I drank way too many of them, and I got obliterated. I remember everybody left the bar except me and my buddy's dad were still at the bar just talking, I guess. And he was drunk too, but I think I was sitting there to try to sober up. And I probably would have had to sit there for 12 hours to totally sober up. But I remember just being in another universe up, seam down, nothing, nothing was good. Nothing was good. But I did not throw up from kamikazes. But oh man, again, hard liquor. It just smashed me. It just smashed me. Where are we? Oh wait, I guess I should check on my update here. Let's see. Hopefully it finished. Did it finish? I'm not sure that it finished because it just said updating the driver board 100%. But now there's the BLE board. Is that the Bluetooth board? See, I wonder if I had to make sure that the phone didn't go to sleep. God damn it. All right. Because the wheel is flashing. So is it working now? Let's see. Are you working? No. Okay, firmware update. Current progress 20%. All right, so it thinks it's doing something. Oh man. All right, I'm not seeing these numbers increment. This doesn't make me happy. This is the side effect of doing firmware updates while you're drinking Corona Light. Yeah, the display screen says it's at 20% and holding. Ugh. Come on, baby. And the app, it doesn't really let you. It doesn't want you to really back out of it either. Well, come on, dude. You got to do something then. No, come on. Yeah, this could not be good. I really don't want to brick my V12. Yeah, it looks like the update has stopped. Although I do remember people saying sometimes the V12 firmware upgrade can take a while, but the first two parts seem to go pretty quick. Me, you see, hardly ever drink, but Mother Nature is now legal in Cali. Yeah, it's been legal there for a while, right? I've never smoked that. I've had edibles. Cindy has a card to get medical marijuana, so I tried some edible stuff, and it's interesting. At least it doesn't make you throw up. Peppermint schnapps. Cynthia's had peppermint schnapps. I think I've tasted it. I didn't like that. Bill H says, yes, the ride is much smoother. So, Bill, can you tell me when you're doing the firmware update on your V12, is the last part usually lengthy? Because it's being very lengthy right here. And it looks like after updating the driver board, I'm just kind of stuck here in no man's land. That's not good. Me, you see, I watched the Marty video last night. I was thinking, what WTF are you doing to this demo wheel, Marty? Yeah, I think Marty feels like he has free reign to do whatever he wants to a demo wheel, evidently. Harold's loving his V11. So far, it's an awesome wheel and meets my needs. Yeah, no, I agree. As far as the way the wheel feels and the way that it handles terrain, the V11 is my favorite wheel in that regard. Oh, Kimberly, did I set off your Alexa? Sorry. Yeah, this thing is stuck, man. It's a 20%. It's not going anywhere. Shit. Is the Z10 gathering dust? Well, funny you say that. It's funny you would ask if the Z10 is gathering dust, because earlier in the live stream, I showed this. I took my Z10 to Dunkin' Donuts tonight, as a matter of fact, and I loved it. I've now ridden it enough that I can pretty cleanly go between conventional EUC riding and a Z10 style riding, which is definitively different. The riding experience in the Z10 is definitively different than a regular EUC. But I just rode it tonight, and I loved it. Clay's here, Mr. One Wheel Clay. Mr. One Wheel Plus with an external battery pack, Clay. What's up, buddy? Guys, my V12 is going to be freaking bricked. Live on stream, it's bricked. Still at 20%, not moving. I mean, if the phone can't go into screensaver mode, I mean, there is a way that an app can prevent the phone from doing that. You really need to do that, or tell people that, hey, don't let your phone go into. I mean, I'm debating: do I kill it? Do I kill the Inmotion app? I'm not sure, because it's not progressing. Me, you see, I have. Well, I don't think I have a subscription to EUC World. I think I just bought it outright. I think, but I haven't used it in a long time. Okay, so Bill H says I had to do it again to do the BLE, and it took. Okay, so all right, and then you're making me feel a little bit better. So I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it. Okay, killed it. Now the wheel still thinks it's updating, so I don't know if I can go in like this. Okay, looks like we're cooking again. Waiting for device updating. So, Bill, did you have to cycle power on the V12 too? Oh, wait, no. Okay, no, never mind. We're updating the BLE board. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep touching my phone so it doesn't go to sleep. So this update failed. Shit. Why? Oh, I think it. I wonder if it like disconnected the Bluetooth as part of this update. Well, the UI on the display screen has not changed. It still says 20%. And when I'm watching the BLE board update, okay, we're at 17%. I hope this works, man. This will suck. All right, 25%. We're still going. Wilson, what new games have you been playing? I haven't been playing new games. I've been playing old games. I play World of Warcraft. I play Hearthstone. And that's pretty much it. I have Final Fantasy 14 installed. I made a character. I don't know anything what I'm doing in that game. I have it installed. But I have 11 or 12 characters in World of Warcraft retail that I need to get to max level. I have like maybe 8 of them to max level now, I think, or 7. So yeah, I got plenty to keep me busy. I'm not that much of a gamer anymore. 55%, and we're gonna have to pee again soon. I can tell you that. Flip says, worst night of drinking I ever had was finishing a whole bottle of Hennessy, blacking out on the way home, and waking up in a toll booth, which is a mile after my accident. Sounds pretty bad. A whole bottle? You didn't get alcohol poisoning for something like that? Holy shit. That sounds pretty bad, Flip. Pretty bad. Wilson says, all right, we're at 79%. Hi, baby. What's up? What's up? Hi. Hi. I know. Elsa gets a little rammy. Like she knows it's getting close to bedtime. And when it's close to bedtime, I take her out to the bathroom. And she knows it's time to go to bed because I sing her a song. We have a song that we sing, or I sing, when it's time to go to the bathroom before bed. And I'm not going to sing it now, but I sing to Elsa all the time, believe it or not. But the reason she gets excited for that is because she knows that after she goes to the bathroom, then she gets a treat. So this is more not about her having to go to the bathroom that much, but she wants a treat. So that is what she's looking for. Okay, we got some beeping going on. Oh, the display soon. The display screen is being upgraded. Please wait for upgrade to finish. Yes. Thanks, Bill H. All right, I think we're cooking with gas. That's great. Wilson, does Florida have a ban on PEVs in your big cities? I've never seen content from Florida like Miami or Tampa. The Miami EUC scene is pretty good, and there's a lot of one-wheelers in the Miami area as well. And they do post videos. I don't know if there's not any big content creators in Miami that I know of. Tampa, Mike in Tampa, which he's in live stream sometimes, and you see him commenting on my videos. Upgrade successful. All right, we're good. So what you guys said. All right, so you said if I long press on the speed, it'll say inches, right? Okay. Okay. Maximum speed, yeah. So where do you set this? Drive mode. Didn't you say you just where it says kilometers per hour, you just hold that? You also said it shows the time. Okay, I see the time. The time is in military time. But you said if you hold it, it shows like inches, I guess, right? That means imperial. I'm not seeing it. All right, well, I'm probably behind in chat, so you can tell me. Bill H. or whoever knows. Cynthia, anyone hear about Rugs for the Raiders? Such a tragic story. I hope he will made an example for drinking and driving and speeding. R.I.P. to victims. Yeah, I mean, I read the Cliff Notes version of that. This guy from the Raiders, drunk driving, hit somebody going 150 miles an hour. I believe he was driving a Corvette. Yeah, ridiculous. And actually, that was one of the things in that poll that I was going to make about Yoshi, where I was asking about Yoshi, is it seems like there's a weird dichotomy going on, that there's a lot of people that don't equate or they don't see an issue with riding an EUC while drunk or high. I assume that these same people would not drive a vehicle while drunk or high, but they see no issue riding an EUC while drunk or high. And I don't really understand that. I don't understand why there's a double standard there when it comes to that. So that was one of the things I was going to discuss, but I did not, because I didn't feel like dealing with the bullshit. Okay. All right, Bill. Yes. Okay. I restarted the app. Yes, I did all that. All I need to do is get it. I am getting the time. Is the time right? 21:44. Yeah, it is. I just need to. I'm just trying to get it into imperial speed. Cynthia says, that's awesome. You like MMORPGs. I played the original Ultima Online and then WoW for a year. Only for a year? Really? I've played WoW not since it came out. It came out in late 2004. I've been playing since early 2005. Yes, I'm not kidding. I've been playing the same game since early 2005. 16 years ago. It's crazy, right? Oh, wait, do you want to convert to metric inch? Yes. There we go. There we go. Miles an hour. Yes. All right. You guys can't see it, but now I'm at miles per hour. Awesome. Cool. And I probably have those new sound wave options, right? Let's see. Sound wave. Okay, so sound wave is just on and off, but you can't change the type of sound on the display, right? I can't hear anything. Just rolling it back and forth. Whoa. All right. I'll mess with that later. But thanks, guys, man. I got an up-to-date V12. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I like it's funny, like I play MMORPG, and when I earlier in the game, I used to play with friends. I was in a guild. We would do stuff together. Now, for the last 10 years, I basically play a massively multiplayer online game, more or less solo. I mean, I do group stuff, but I do in WoW, they have automatic group finders where, like, when you're doing content that requires more than one person, it creates the group for you. You're just pulled in with random people you don't know. You perform the content, and then the group is disbanded and you're on your way. And that's the way that I play nowadays. I'm not in a guild. I don't really mess much with the social interactions, which actually greatly enhances your enjoyment of the game. But I just don't have time for it. I don't get to play enough to be a productive guild member. So that's why I've just avoided it. My play time. I mean, there's times that I don't play for weeks for various reasons. Today I actually got to play a little bit, but there's my play time is not consistent enough. And anyone that's played this type of games knows that they can be incredible time sinks. So yeah, just that does not. I don't have that kind of time. But I do have time to go to the bathroom real quick. So, Elsa, come talk to the people. Come talk to them. Go ahead. Not yet, baby. Not yet. We'll do it soon. Cynthia's also played EverQuest. Asheron's Call 2. I've heard of EverQuest, never played it. Asheron's Call 2, I've never heard of. I'm familiar. MUC, Dark Age of Camelot. I am familiar with that. One of my coworkers actually got started in Dark Age of Camelot. I've never played that either. I heard, those very early MMORPGs were incredible grinds. I'm complaining about the amount of time that World of Warcraft can consume. Those earlier MMORPGs were worse, way worse. So, yeah, it basically became your life. Bill H. Yes, I got it. I think I was pressing the wrong place because it was actually asking me if I want to put different information there as opposed to changing the format. So, yeah, I'm good. Humble Schizo. Okay, referring to the Yoshi video, yes, he was like, didn't he grab the guy and like had him close and says, "I will let you live." I mean, anyone that rides around with spikes on their gear, I believe Yoshi's in his 40s. He rides around with spikes on his gear, spikes on his shoulder pads, and I think his elbow pads. Everything has spikes on it. So, you draw your own conclusions about the type of individual that you're dealing with, and throw in controls RC cars while he's riding as well. So, yeah, you can make your own judgment. Oh, freaking webcam girls came back again. That's like 5 times I had to block them. I played WoW early 2005 for about 6 months and got so bored. You got bored? Well, it's really different than it was back then. I mean, early WoW was a huge grind. And to some people, that's appealing. Like they released WoW Classic because there was a segment of the player base that liked everything being tedious as hell, ridiculously tedious. So Blizzard actually released Classic WoW, which emulates the original WoW experience, and it has a pretty active player base. So it's much less so like that nowadays. So yeah, you might find it interesting. You might not. I don't know. I mean, there really is so many different things you can do in that game, and I just I still find enjoyment in it somehow. Don't ask me how, but I do. Wilson, I haven't really found an addiction since SOCOM 2 and 3 and WoW. Up till you only played WoW up till Wrath of the Lich King? As I was saying, it's a lot different now. Bill H says, plus the volume on Soundwave has been bumped up dramatically. Okay, good. So you can only change the sound on the app, right? I assume. Makes sense. I'll have to mess with it. You see, I play Star Wars The Old Republic solo. I never played that game either, even though I am a big Star Wars fan. I never got into it just because I always felt like I barely had time to play WoW. Is my hat straight? I think so. So yeah, I never got into Star Wars Old Republic. Oh, E. Simon's here too. Man, we have several members in here. Rocky Top, Cynthia, EUC Vibes, E. Simon. Did I miss anybody? Yeah, 4 members. Awesome. Oh, your shirt arrived? Nice. So I sent that right after the last live stream, right? So, okay, my last live stream was October 8th. So, wow. So it took almost a solid month to get there to Australia. Well, I'm glad I got there. But damn, a month. That's a long time. Spartacus. Hey, Duff, before the end of the live stream, could you let us know how your conversation with Jason went? He truly is the best in the biz. Well, I did kind of talk about this earlier. I mean, he has a mess on his hands. He does obviously have insurance, but the insurance is not going to cover the scope of his losses. He had 55,000 parts in that warehouse or in that parts service center, whatever you want to call it. And everything was destroyed. He's in a temporary a temporary location on like a month-to-month lease, and he's trying to, recover. I'm sure he has a parts order in, but I mean, all those old parts, a lot of them that probably you can hardly get anymore. Those are probably all history. So he's going to be struggling for sure. And this is at the same time as he is single-handedly doing a recall on 900 watt-hour Gotway battery packs because those apparently seem to be the most problematic. He's handling that himself, and that's going to have a huge price tag as well. So, and we talked about, like, I know someone started a GoFundMe almost immediately after the news was announced, which Jason asked for them to take down. And, and he appreciates the sentiment, of course, but the reality is a GoFundMe, even a GoFundMe that did really well, would still only be the tiniest fraction of covering the losses associated with this. So it really isn't, it's a great thought and it's a great gesture, but in practicality, it wouldn't do a whole lot. So, and he didn't really tell me anything as far as, I mean, his mindset is not positive. Obviously, he's literally stuck between a rock and a hard place. He is still selling wheels. Obviously, if you want to support e-wheels, keep buying wheels from him. And he's putting in the effort to recover, but it's going to be a monumental task, to put it mildly. Rocky Top, aka David, him and his wife got shirts last live stream as well. Glad they got there. MUC, Blizzard's new female CEO just quit after only 1 month because the working environment is so toxic. Activision Blizzard is so much trouble with many lawsuits right now. Not looking good for them. Yes, I'm aware of all this. Most of you are not, but Activision Blizzard, that's the parent company of the of World of Warcraft, and they've been involved in a big scandal lately, where a number of employees they're basically whistleblowers saying that there's all kinds of shady shit going on, a lot of sexual innuendo, just inappropriate behavior. Inequity in wages, all kinds of stuff. And there's action by the state of California and some other agencies in regards to this. So they have taken a huge hit lately. A lot of players have jumped ship, partly because the game's 15 years old or 16 years old, partly because they were just pissed off. Their stock price has gone way down. They are doing things to try to make things better. There's been a few announcements in the last couple of weeks, actions that they're taking. So I think that they're doing what they need to do now, but it's a shame that the things that went on for evidently quite a long time. Cynthia says, so you've played Knights of the Old Republic's SWTOR, right? Isn't that Knights of the Old Republic? Any good MMOs coming out recently? The MMO that's gotten the most news lately is Amazon's, isn't it called New World, I believe? It's called New World, I think. Just came out. I know a lot of people are trying that out. I have not tried it, but I've heard some generally positive things about it. So E. Simon says a month is pretty quick to ship to Australia. Really? Ay, ay, ay. The Australian Postal Service is in shambles at the moment. It sounds like most of Australia is in shambles right now. Mostly COVID-related stuff. Bill H says, still do it on screen only. Only one sound waves, as far as I know. I like the news. Oh, wait. Well, so when you guys were talking about the horse sound and all that kind of stuff, that was on EUC World? Okay. I misunderstood. I apologize. Yeah, I heard mixed reviews about the new sound wave sound. Okay. So there aren't options with the sound. There's only one sound. Okay. That's fine. I think I heard it. I think Miss Crusher had someone on their ride that was demonstrating the new sound. It's different, but it's fine. I don't mind it. Bill H says, eWheels always. Jason has me as a lifetime customer. He has done a lot for the EUC community. Yes, he has. There's tons and tons of examples of him stepping up. And it's such a weird dynamic because, when I first bought my first wheel from eWheels, they had a brick and mortar store in South Beach. And my wheel actually came from South Beach. The first wheel I bought from him, and since then, Jason, he's a Canadian citizen, and he actually had to go back to Canada, and he's been in Canada for several years now. But he's managing his business, which is primarily in the States. They had the service center in Arizona, and then the new wheels ship out of a location in California. So he's been managing all of that remotely. So it's a weird dynamic, but he makes it work. So, it's definitely a strange situation. Me, you see, New World is broken. Oh, really? Do not play. Mid-game loot non-existent, and economy for the game is in the toilet, hemorrhaging players massively. Really? I had not heard that. I mean, the feedback that I heard from it was within the first 2 weeks of the game being launched. Really? So it is not looking good for New World. Wow. I can only imagine how much money Amazon has pumped into that. Speaking of Amazon pumping money into things, Amazon is a pretty good stakeholder in Rivian. If you guys know who Rivian is another electric vehicle manufacturer. Right now they only have trucks in their lineup. They just had their IPO on Wednesday. They went public. And I just own a flyer because I had Tesla stock. When I bought my Tesla, I bought one share of Tesla stock for $226. Since then, that Tesla stock has appreciated. It had a 5-for-1 split. And right now, that stock is over $1,000 a share, even after the split. So as you can tell, I've done very well on that. So based on that, I bought 3 shares of Rivian just for the hell of it. The IPO opened at $78. I think when I bought it around $109, and I'm not sure what it wound up at today. I know it was up pre-trading. Let's see what it wound up at today. Okay, it's up to $132. So it went up 7.5% today. So I bought some just on a flyer, just based on my my experience with Tesla. I thought, hey, well, why not? I mean, the Rivian trucks do look cool. Amazon, like I said, has a significant share of the company, and Ford, which I thought is weird. Ford bought a portion of Rivian as well. So, I'm in on Rivian. What did I see here? Oh, Slew Dog. I missed the whole talking neck deal. A quick recap. Okay, real quickly. I put up a poll on my community section in YouTube asking about if people thought I should bother talking about the latest Yoshi video where he ran into a kid, and then titled the video, "I ran into a kid in my EUC, blah, 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 blah." And somebody that I assume is in the same area, I know he's in California, I know Marty knows him, posted on there as a comment on that poll that I'm a drama queen and I am a talking neck with an irritating voice. So that is where that comes from. I'm taking his description of me and running with it because I think it's funny. Me, you see, okay. Me, you see is filling in the blanks as well. Yeah, some trolls love me. Not that many. I mean, a lot of them don't. A lot. I don't give them the satisfaction typically that they're looking for because it's very hard to get under my skin. So, usually I'll kind of turn around on them like I have with this guy. So, and I haven't heard anything since, which is fine. All right, I'm almost done with this last Corona Light. I think I'll do one more alcoholic beverage, and I'm gonna have to tap out because I can't drink them very quickly when I'm doing this, obviously, because I'm speaking words. All right, talking about New World, the issues with New World. Common items need because I heard New World was very heavily crafting based, right? Like in World of Warcraft, crafting is sort of like an afterthought. I mean, they have it, but they've kind of really streamlined it because a lot of people weren't participating in it, and crafting isn't a real big deal in World of Warcraft. So, common items needed for mid-game crafting in New World are more rare. 5 Raven Claws on the entire server, where 20 are needed. What? So, what? I assume that they have like an auction house of some sort in New World, like a lot of MMORPGs. So, there's 5 Raven Claws on the entire server, and you need 20 just to upgrade one item. Oh, wow. Yeah, I would say that would kind of mess with the economy a little bit. Well, the good news is they can fix it, I guess. Hopefully they can fix it. But yeah, that does sound a little bit like a cluster. Justin. Hi, Justin. Good evening, Sean. I'm not sure if you've been in the live stream before. You're not ringing a bell, but welcome. All right. No more Corona Light in this household. It's done. And this, I did not buy this. This actually was left over from my fantasy football draft. I hosted the fantasy football draft for my league in August. So somebody brought Corona Lights and they left me 4 of them or 5 of them, and they're gone. Thank God. All right. So we'll go back to the regular Miller Lite here. And then we're going to tap out. This is my last one, and then we're going to tap out. Else will be happy. Oh, because I need to. I'm elderly, so I need my rest, right? And when you're elderly, you need more rest. E. Simon, you're too chill. It doesn't feed the trolls. That's right. The worst thing you can do is engage a troll in a serious manner. Engaging them in a sarcastic manner is what I do typically, or self-demeaning, or I'll agree with them. I mean, agreeing with a troll totally takes the air out of their sails. So, it's funny the drinking Miller Lite after drinking Corona Light. The mixture is weird. Not in a good way. All right. Well, hopefully the Corona Light will dissipate. Okay. You see Duff finished off Zima on one stream and now polish off the Rona lights on another. I didn't finish the Zimas. I have one in the fridge, and I think I have at least 2 unrefrigerated still in the pantry. But I'm not drinking the Zima tonight. That's, I choked down the Coronas. And unfortunately, those of you that have been here for the last live stream, the Zimas, which is probably my favorite all-time alcoholic drink, have sort of spoiled after 2 years or so, 2 to 3 years of sitting. They don't taste like they used to taste. So, but I'm not going to throw them out. But unfortunately, you don't get the enjoyment that I was hoping for now, since I've been sitting on them for so long. E. Simon cracking a beer. If I remember correctly, E. Simon, you said you started drinking when you were 14, right? Although it is, it's probably around lunchtime in Australia right now, I guess. Duff drunk day. No, it's night. It's nighttime here. It's a little after 10 o'clock. And after I'm done streaming, I will take a shower and lay in bed and hopefully sleep well. Sometimes when I drink, it actually, usually you would think, when you drink, you get sleepy. And it does make me sleepy, but sometimes I've noticed, like if I drink a lot, I don't sleep well. So hopefully I sleep okay. Cynthia's on her 3rd and last blue moon. I only drink. Yeah, I remember you drank during the last live stream. Cynthia only drinks during live streams. Well, thank you, Cynthia. I guess I appreciate the camaraderie. Justin, I've been in the room many times. I have the Z10. Okay. I apologize, Justin. Alcohol might be affecting my memory. Or old age, one of the others. There's a few people that have Z10s. And I did mention I just rode my Z10 tonight to Dunkin' Donuts. I even shared the picture of it. There. I felt safer bringing it inside. Typically, when I go to Dunkin' Donuts, I've been leaving it outside. But like the last time I was there, the service was kind of slow. And I was getting a little bit nervous. Now, the Naples area is not a high crime area. But I decided to bring the Z10 inside for the visit today. And it's a great conversation starter. People are like, what the hell is that? Duff, eat some carbs to absorb some of the alcohol. Be thankful in the morning. You still have the Zima left. Yeah. Well, I did eat dinner. Like Friday nights, I've talked about this before. Friday nights is pizza night. So I had pizza. I did not have any dessert. Usually I'll have cookies or something as dessert. I did not have dessert. This is my dessert, alcohol. So I did have a considerable amount of food. I mean, if I didn't, this would be much worse right now. Rocky Top says there's always a live stream somewhere, right? Didn't Jimmy Buffett say that? Music live streams in Duff's about once a week or 2. Music live streams, like concert stuff? I've never watched a music live stream. Me, you see alcohol affects memory. I don't remember that being the case. It does, but I think old age affects memory more. I have to tell you, I have big concerns about age. I've talked about that before. I've always had concerns about aging. And I have examples of like Alzheimer's, dementia stuff on both sides of the family. So that's like a nightmare scenario for me. I do not want to go to the point where I revert to being a child. I would much rather check out first before that situation happens. I don't need to exist that way. Justin, I commented in one of your videos how nice it would be to have a bumper in the back of the. Oh, yeah. Justin, I do remember that comment, actually. Yeah. Yeah, you could probably make a like a TPU. It'd be like a bumper sort of thing, like a rubbery material that you could just put around that guard, much like the exo armor that I sell for the veteran Sherman. I haven't worked at modeling that, but that is something I could do. The issue is, I mean, there's a lot of Z10s out there. I mean, it's not a new wheel anymore, so that's why I'm a little hesitant to do it. But maybe I'll do it. I don't think it'd be a very hard thing to do. Humble Schizo. Your worst EUC stumble cutout, if any. I never rode an EUC to cut out. My worst falls on EUCs have been on the EUC that I learned on, my Ninebot 1E Plus. I had a really bad fall, like on the second or third day of learning, where I landed on my hip, smashed my hip. And then I had multiple examples of me falling off during extreme tilt back on the Ninebot 1E Plus. I'm trying to think if I had any serious falls on any of my other EUCs after that. I really have not. My worst PEV fall ever was on my Backfire Ranger X1 electric skateboard, actually, where I was on Immokalee Road, the road you guys see me riding on when I do Dunkin' Donut rides typically. And I was on that doing probably 15 or 16 miles an hour in the bike lane. Looked to the side at something, don't remember what. And while I was looked to the side, there was a piece of metal from something in the road that I hit squarely with the board. The board stopped on a dime, and I went Superman style onto the bike lane. And the gear absorbed a lot of it, but I did get like brush burns on my back and stuff. The board actually went out into the road. So luckily there was no traffic by me the moment that happened, because that could have been really bad. But that was my worst PEV incident, knock on wood, ever. Simon, is just after lunch in Australia. All right. Wilson. All right. What is your favorite movie and favorite TV show of all time and recently? Oh, dude, I'm not in a position to answer that. I don't have a clear and definitive answer to any of this, but I can tell you one of my favorite movies of all time was 300. I loved 300. That was really a cool movie to me. And favorite TV show, I watch a lot of TV. I couldn't give you a real definitive answer on that either. But one of my favorite TV shows of all time was Breaking Bad. Big Breaking Bad fan. I thought that was really a awesome show. So Justin, you're only 38 and you already feel some? Yeah, you will, and you'll feel it more when you're 53. Trust me. And I, generally speaking, I try to take care of myself. I exercise, I eat reasonably most of the time. But I have joint issues. And like I said, my memory is definitely not good. There's times where, and this is really a disconcerting feeling, where someone will tell me that they told me something, and I have no recollection of it whatsoever. It doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened. And when that happens, I'm like, oh Jesus, are you kidding me? I mean, it's really. It sucks. That's the last thing you want, is to have your brain go, for sure. Hate mail. Do you prefer the Z10 or the M10 III? It's not really a good comparison. I like them both a lot for different reasons. M10-3 is the only wheel I have that you can have incredible fun in the amount of space of two parking spaces, because it's so maneuverable. It's the only wheel that I can really easily go forwards and backwards and 360s, and with my regular full-size wheels, that's much more challenging for me. With the M10-3, it is very, very simple, or much simpler than normal wheels. Z10, the Z10, I like because the riding style is so different than all of my other EUCs. The Z10 is very engaging. It feels more engaging to me, much like the one wheel does. I really like the sensation of riding the Z10, but they're not. I don't think they're very comparable. Shane's Planet is here. Hey man, I know you're not. I don't know if you're on Facebook, but I did post that I put your when you sent me my last set of pads, you sent me orange EUC Army stickers, and I actually put one of those stickers on my truck, my Inferno orange Tacoma, because it matched better than the green ones that you sent me earlier. So I have an EUC Army on the back of my truck. So I did post a picture to Facebook, and you probably did not see it. But I can possibly, depending on how quickly I can react, even though I've been drinking beer, at least that aftertaste of the Corona Light's gone away. My God. Hold on a second. Scrolling. There it is. Hold on. All right. Save. Okay. Close that. Open that. Shane's probably not even in the live stream anymore, but I'm going to do this anyways. Then we're going to share this, and then we're going to do that, and we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. There you go, Shane. Looks good on the truck, right? Shane's Planet, if you guys don't know, Shane makes power pads. Basically, I have a set on my veteran Sherman, and I have a second set that I have not adhered to anything yet, as well as a set of Clark pads that I have not used yet. I guess I need to decide to use them. But yeah, Shane does good work for sure. Slew Dog says, in Pennsylvania, Victory Beer Company makes a seasonal beer called Kirsch Ghosh Sour Cherry Beer. Ooh, that sounds nasty. Every time I see it, I buy it all. Really? Is it good? Well, I guess it is. Really? Sour cherry beer? I mean, they have all kinds of weird flavors now with IPAs, but wow. I guess I should taste it before I pass judgment on it, right? If I see some Zima, I'll pick it up for you. Well, you won't see it because it is not distributed in the United States for the last 2 years. Evidently, there is a variation of Zima that is still sold in Japan, but it is not sold in the United States. I'm in on these things. I'm in like a Zima group on Facebook, believe it or not. So yeah, Zima, you can't get it in the United States unless I don't know, you steal it from somebody else that has it. I don't know, but I would imagine any Zima you're going to find in the United States is going to be kind of spoiled, like the stuff that I have. Shane, you own 2 M10-3s? Really? Why? What's the point of that? You have an 84 volt and a 67 volt. My M10-3 is 80. Yeah, it's 84 volts, I think, my M10-3. Because I know that they released a 67 volt version as well, which Marty has. But I'm not sure why you would own 2 M10-3s. You can only ride one at once. Cynthia. Oh, talking about the music that she watches. Green. Why do I keep rubbing my chest? I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know. It's not itchy. I don't know. Is it reassuring? Is this? I don't know. Now that I'm by myself, I don't know. I guess I got to just rub myself, right? Green Jellyvision TV live stream every Saturday at 8 p.m. They stream live out of. Oh, really? Okay, cool. I'm not a big music person. I mean, I like music, but I'm not an audiophile, or I don't know. But that's probably good. E. Simon, did your new one wheel arrive yet? No. The Pint X's they actually had in stock and were shipping immediately. The one wheel GTs are not shipping until the end of January, and I ordered on day one that they were available. Not till last time I checked, it was January 25th, and I totally expect that date to keep moving backwards. But I still have my one wheel XR to get me by until then. I'm a bud. Are you more excited about riding your new GT off-road or on street? Well, my riding overall primarily is probably 90 to 95% on hard surfaces. So that's how I'll be riding the GT. The only time that I would take it off-road typically is if I take it to the swamp, which doesn't happen all that often. So yeah, the answer is, I guess, on the street. Even though I did get a treaded tire. Some people said that they said, oh, well, if you ride in the street, don't get a treaded tire. It doesn't make any sense. Well, I got a treaded tire. And I'm sure I'll still like it. Wilson also likes Shane's pads. Yeah, they're nice. I like them. Shane really cares about a quality product, for sure. Rocky Top. I have a No Skill Zombie Rider and SP on my Bluetooth ammo can speaker box. SP. Oh, Shane's Planet. Cool. Yeah, I have the Shane's Planet sticker on my helmet, and I have several of them. I still have more of them, so I need to find more things to stick them on. I was thinking about getting a new skater helmet, which I usually only wear if I'm doing a short ride, or if I'm drinking coffee. But usually a short ride, I'll wear it. But my 888 skater helmet is kind of gross. It's like it has like all kinds of sticky stuff on it. I'm not sure how that happened, but it's almost like adhesive that's on my 888 skater helmets. I'm thinking about getting a new 888 skater helmet and then putting stickers on that as well. One of my full face helmets, I have a bunch of stickers on, and I have more stickers. So I thought maybe I should start putting them on my skater helmet. And I apologize for burping. Okay, talking about music. Wilson, selling any of those, Shane? What are we selling? What, his pads? Yes. Dovetails, 55 years old. All right, well, I'm 53. We're in the same ballpark. Thinking about getting an 18XL. First EUC, good choice. Yes, 18XL is a very good choice. 18XL is a very solid wheel. Good range. Good speed, like a 30-mile-an-hour top speed. Very solid build. Nice pedals. Big pedals. A classic look. I had an 18. Mine was technically an 18L, but I put the bigger pedals on, and I put the bigger battery pack in it. So it was, for all terms of, God, I'm not talking very well. For all intensive purposes, my 18L was an 18XL. It had all the specs of an 18XL. And that was a great wheel. Yeah. I was actually, at the time, my decision was between buying a Z10 and an 18XL, and I opted for the 18XL. So, yeah. A very good first wheel. Very solid. The only thing is, if you're just learning on it, you might want to go to roll.nz and get one of those neoprene covers for it to protect the wheel. They do a great job of keeping your wheel safe during the learning process, because typically the wheel is going to hit the ground a decent amount of times while you're learning. Cynthia talking about this whole music streaming deal. Wow. Sounds cool. If I was into music, I would watch. Wilson, are you saying an M10-3 would be a good first wheel? I don't think so, personally. At least for me, because I think one of the things that's nice about a first wheel is you want to have something that has a substantial size to it, case size, because a bigger case gives you more to brace your leg against when you're learning to mount and dismount, and that's very helpful. With an M10-3, its form factor is so small, I can't brace on it at all, really. Like when I mount and dismount on an M10-3, it's more or less a hop. I can't brace my leg on an M10-3 like I can with normal size wheels. So yeah, I personally would not recommend an M10-3 as a first wheel. Harold likes his 888, and you have the 187 pads. Yeah, I have the 187 pads for my wrist guards, my elbow guards, which I really need to get some new ones because they smell and they're kind of beat up, are actually STX lacrosse pads. Those are actually pads that are used for lacrosse, but they actually kind of work really good. I mean, they have substantial padding on the elbow, both on the elbow and above and below it, and like fabric that covers like this area here. So I actually kind of like those things. I just haven't been able to find a new set on Amazon that's in my size. So yeah, I definitely could use a new version of those. For my my knee protection, I either use what's the name of them? No Hurt are the easy pads that I have that are actually used by laborers that are on their knees all day, but I like them because they're super easy to put on. And I also had the Leat combination knee guards and shin guards that I use as well. And I typically will put them on when I'm doing longer, higher speed rides. So, oh, NYC EUC is here. Hey, what's up, buddy? All kinds of stuff went down already. So if you play back the live stream once it's completed, all kinds of interesting things. Me, you see, I rode something like the M10-3 for 1 year before I bought a Gotway Tesla. Like the M10-3? Really? What else is like the M10-3? Like I had those of you that have been members of my YouTube channel or subscribers for a long time, I had for a while a $200 EUC that I bought on eBay. And my original thought back then was that it was going to be the EUC for Cindy to learn on, the $200 EUC. And that never worked out. And that thing was a piece of shit. A piece of shit. I mean, it had like no range. If you went more than like 5 or 6 miles an hour, it started to tip you back. It was terrible. It was a terrible wheel. And I think I wound up giving it to Cindy or to Katie's brother and sister to do whatever they wanted with years ago. Yeah, because I don't know of anything else that's like an M10-3. Tough built. Me, you see, uses tough built knee pads. So that's very similar to what I'm talking about. They're made for flooring and are so comfy. Yeah, mine are comfortable. Yeah, And that's what I was wearing when I wiped out on the skateboard, and they did a good job of protecting my knees. So. Harold had one decent fall on pavement for my one-wheel XR, had 0 injuries using I-87 elbow and knee pads. Made me a believer. Yeah, they're definitely good. And I had my 187s, my killer 187s on again when I wiped out on the skateboard. And again, they protected my hands and wrists because when I had that fall, I kind of went out Superman style. I had one arm in front of me when I went down, and my gear did a good job, except for my back. My shoulder blade didn't get brush burned for sure. And on my one-wheel XR, it's funny. Like, I've never had a serious fall on my one-wheel XR. All my falls on my one-wheel XR. Well, I shouldn't say that. I never had a serious fall on my one-wheel XR when I was going at speed. I had, in one training session, I had 3 serious falls on my one-wheel XR just trying to dismount the thing. And the reason I had such problems was the front sensor pad on my one-wheel XR was defective, and it was hit and miss. Like, you would do a heel raise and it wouldn't disengage, and that resulted in the board shooting out from under me, trying to stop 3 times, and all 3 of those times I fell on my back, head hit the pavement, but I had a helmet on. Luckily, I had my 187 helmet on, so I wasn't injured, but. Those were my most serious falls on my one wheel. Okay, so MIUC, the IPS lots, first UC. Yeah, no, I've heard of it. I don't quite remember what it looks like, but I have heard of it. The IPS lots. Stew Dog liked my one-wheel GT buying video. Nice, man. Yeah, that video, it's one of my more popular videos that I've had lately. Let me see how many views we're up to on that thing. If this loads, yeah, it's over 11,000 views on that thing. Like I mentioned in the subsequent video, there definitely is a larger one-wheel community than EUC community. A one-wheel videos typically get a lot more views than EUC videos because there's a lot more one-wheelers in the United States. And like you said, I'm going to be selling my XR as well. But since the GT is not going to be here until the end of January at the earliest, and I expect it to be longer, I'm not going to sell my XR until we get closer. The GT is paid for. Actually, when I sell my XR, the money for the XR will actually go towards paying for the S20, the KingSong S20. That's the way it's going to go down. Harold's XR falls uphill. You had wet leaves build up under the fender and drain the battery more than I realized. Yeah. There's a very funny video on my channel. If you just search one wheel, you'll probably find it. Where, again, this is early on in my one-wheel learning process. I was in the driveway trying to learn, and I did the jump off dismount. When you're learning one wheels, the easiest way to dismount is just to jump off the board. As soon as you jump off the board, the sensor is supposed to turn the board off. Again, because the sensor pad was flaky, I did this. I jumped off the board, and instead of turning off, the board ran away from me. And I actually have a video of my Ring, it was my security camera, not a Ring cam, but my security camera I had in the front of the house, capturing me trying to run down the board and catch it before it ran into standing water that was down a hill. And unfortunately, you couldn't see the whole thing. But I literally dove like I was an NFL player diving for someone that was trying to go over the end zone. I dove and I grabbed the board just before it got to the water. It was kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, the sensor pad issue was quite annoying. When you're trying to learn and the front sensor pad is not functioning correctly, that is not a good combination. All right, got maybe a third of this beer left, and then we're going to call it a night. Justin, I would wear one of those airbag helmets. I've seen those. I guess they're designed for cyclists. I guess somehow it detects it detects you're falling, and it basically puts an airbag around your head. I'm sure that is not inexpensive. Hate Mail started riding on a second-hand Airwheel X8. Cool. Oh boy, yawning. I can't say that I know what an Airwheel X8 looks like, but it sounds old. It sounds old. Harold says, dismounting my XR is still the most sketchy part of riding the damn thing. Yeah, doing a heel lift is not easy because when you do that, those of you that are familiar with one wheels, the front of the board is a sensor pad divided into two halves. There's two sensors in the front, and basically when it detects pressure on both of those pads, it knows that your foot is on the board. So the advanced way to dismount is you come more or less to a stop, and then you raise your heel up to relieve pressure on one of those two pads. And doing that is supposed to disengage the board, and then it shuts off and you can step off. The issue is sometimes when you're doing that, you're getting up on your foot and it changes your center of balance and the board starts to drift on you, and it might not necessarily want to disengage, because I think you have to be going less than 1 mile an hour for it to actually disengage. So that can be tricky. The other way you can dismount is what I talked about. You basically bring the board more or less to a stop and just jump off with both feet at one time, and the board should just click off. And sometimes I'll do that. If I want to dismount quickly, I'll just do it that way, because the heel lift is not a quick dismount often. Now, there is a third way to dismount that I've actually done a few times and isn't bad. It's best if you have float plates on the bottom of your XR that gives you a hard surface that is able to skid more than if you just use the plain bumpers that come with the one wheel, because those will wear down pretty quickly. And it's basically a skid stop. What you do is you're going at a decent amount of speed, and all of a sudden you just step you lift your front foot, you lean back on your back foot, and the board slows down rapidly, it skids, and you just kind of step off the back. And I've been doing that once in a while too. And that's a pretty quick way to disengage. So, yeah, I'm not sure how or why I went on that tangent, but that was the tangent. Wilson, doing a one-wheel split is not the best feeling. Yes, I have definitely done those. One-wheel split is when you kind of like half get off the board and half you're still on it, and then the board just kind of runs away from you. Yeah, looks a little bit awkward. Slew Dog, any idea what a used XR can fetch these days in the open market? Mine had 1,100 miles on it, but it's in excellent condition. I've seen people selling them for $1,200 or $1,300. So I would say that ballpark. Mine has less than 400 miles on it, I think. So whoever gets mine will get a board with relatively low miles on it. Oh, so Wilson pretty much echoed what he said, $1,200 to $1,300. Yeah, right now. I don't know. Once we get closer to the GT being released, I don't know if that price might go down further. I'm not sure. Oh, wow. This whole time I've been holding my Inside Out book on my lap. And I've had this book for many years. And for some reason, I only realized that on the back of the cover is like my year wrap up blog entry from probably 2004. Yeah, it is. Wow. Interesting. It's crazy. It shows how little time I've spent actually reading these things. But yeah, wow, that's kind of weird. I really should read these at some point. Give me some perspective. Simon, I've only ridden a one wheel a few times, but I found the skid stop easiest. Yeah, skid stop is pretty easy. All right, so what's the Cynthia? What's the book? This I've talked about this in the last live stream. Remember how I said how my dad took a number of years of my blog entries and had them converted into books. I've been writing a blog since 2002. We just discovered today because at the beginning of the live stream I opened this up. This is the first book. My very first blog entry was from October 9th, 2002. So I've been doing this for 21 years. And this is the first edition of the book. And I've only skimmed all these editions briefly. I've never spent a lot of time reading them, but it's interesting. Just spending 5 minutes just reading entries from 19 years ago, what I used to think. Like for example, this blog entry on the back of the cover of this book. I'll just read you one paragraph, and this is my wrap up of 2004. Because in my blog, usually my last entry of a year, I will summarize the year more or less. Okay, so this says, on a personal level, I continue to work hard at staying as healthy as I can. I weigh close to 10 pounds less than I did last year. My fear of aging and death motivates me to hit the gym harder than ever before in my life. I try to be more introspective, more patient, and more positive, although I often fail to do this as consistently as I would like to. When I allow myself to slow down and take a look around, I realize how lucky I am and how far I have come from the kid that had no idea what was going to happen with his life and didn't have a clue on how I would get by. I'm proud of what has been accomplished so far, yet frustrated by my inability to decide what I want my next step to be. I love living in Florida, but I am bummed out about my inability to create any close friendships with people down here. That's more or less still true. I continue to become increasingly sensitive to the world around me. I get emotionally involved with issues and things like this tsunami disaster really make me stop and take pause. Whereas 15 years ago, I wouldn't have given it 5 seconds of thought. I actually read a few books now and then and enjoy it. So that's one paragraph. So yeah, like I think I talked about it in the last live stream. My blog it's blog.duff.net. If you guys want to catch up on 19 years of my life. It's funny. I used to, like, during my second marriage, I used to use the blog as like my sounding board. I almost used to, I think I later described it as weaponize the blog, where I would say things that were bothering me about my relationship, and I would put it in the blog. And I didn't think anything about it. I thought that, hey, this is just me just expressing my feelings. And it was a real issue for my second wife. And now I understand. I understand why it was an issue. Then I did not. Like, I remember there was an article, like my ex-wife and I used to have an issue of her hairstyle. Like, she would do her hair in ways that I didn't find appealing. And one time I wrote it in a blog, and she was really upset about that. And at the time, I didn't understand. Now I do. I understand why I shouldn't do that. And it's funny when I look back at these things from a older, hopefully wiser perspective. And realizing that there's things that I did then that I would not do now. And that's part of getting older, right? Wilson, I wouldn't mind a remote for a one wheel that would act as a kill switch for those sketchy off-road moments when you really need to stop on a dime. Maybe, I don't know. I think one of the appeals of a one wheel is not having a remote, really, compared to like an electric unit, electric skateboard. I think that's one of the appeals of it. And yes, the GT will have simple stop, just like the Pint. And I've never disabled simple stop in the Pint, and I generally like it. I don't reverse direction, and I'm very uncomfortable riding the other direction. So I will probably just leave simple stop on the GT, I would imagine. E. Simon says, I found an old diary of mine from when I was 14 and read it. It was horrifying. I burnt it. Yeah, luckily my blog doesn't go back to when I was 14. So let's see. If I started in 2002, I was, let's see, in 2002, how old was I in 2002? 34? 34. Yeah, I think I was 34 in 2002. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's funny, on my wall, you can't see it. And I'm not really sure. I'm not sure why I keep it. I don't know, because reading it as an adult, it's not good. It's not good. But this is something that this is a I don't know if you would call it a poem, but I wrote this in 5th grade. I do recall that it was in 5th grade, and I recall my mom thinking it was good, and somehow it got framed. And I have it. It's been sitting on my wall forever, as long as I can remember. I don't remember when it was framed. I don't remember who framed it. I don't think I framed it. I think probably my mom did. But I will recite this poem to you now, and everybody can snap in their in their approval or disapproval. Okay, the poem is called "Sounds of Our Beach House." When I was younger, we used to go down to the beach, Rehoboth Beach area in Delaware. That was like our vacation spot. And my mom and dad used to rent a house typically down there for like 2 weeks. We did that for a long time in my childhood. I used to look forward to it like crazy. I used to love it. And we used to actually rent the house typically with my cousins, my aunt, uncle, and cousins. We used to all share this big beach house. So this was my poem that I wrote about the beach house. And hopefully I can read it from here because my distance vision isn't so good because I'm old. You hear the walking and creaking of the floor. You will hear the shuffling of cards and rolling of dice. The sound of very distant splashing of waves. Shutters are banging. You can hear mixed talk. The wind is blowing through the trees. The slam of the door. And when it's all over, you hear silence. That's it. Deep, right? Deep. So deep. Yeah, I wrote that in 5th grade. So why I shared that, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Cynthia, you like my entry? Cool. If you like that, then you should read my blog. It's funny. I like I said, I learned my lesson. I stopped bringing relationship things into the blog. As you get older, you're supposed to get wiser, right? And I think you can see that in my entries. Hopefully, maybe not. I don't know. Slew Dog always laughed when I would announce simple stop in my one wheel videos. Yeah, that was my signature move with the Pint. Whenever I would simple stop, I would just say simple stop. Don't know why, but I thought it was kind of funny. I guess I can bring it back with the GT, right? I'll bring it back. Yeah, Cynthia, I'm a real poet. Yep, that's me. I'm a poet, all right. RJ Lamandola, hey man, you're getting in at the very tail end of this. If you want to find all the excitement that's been going on since 7:45 is about when I started. It's now 10:53, 10:54. So, oh shit, a 3-hour. This is a 3-hour live stream. I think once I had a 4-hour live stream, but this is 3, so that's pretty long. RJ says, YouTube sent me here for my GT video. Yeah, my GT video got a lot of traction. I mentioned a little while ago, it's over 11,000 views. Is that what I said? I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people have seen it. Generally positive feedback. And I'm excited for my GT. Thanks for stopping into the live stream. I appreciate it. All right, I have a couple sips left. So, like I said, this is an AMA. If there's anything that you want to know, now is the time to ask. Because when this is gone, I'm gone. I need to rest. I need to take my Metamucil and rest. It's important to rest, right? All right, let's see. Do we have anything going on here? RJ digs the white roads. All right, so I have an idea what I can do. Let's pick one more entry here. Oh my God, some of these it's funny like how long some of these are. These entries are crazy. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to see if I can find something meaningful here. A lot of this is me. A lot of my blog is just me trying to relay like just menial things, like simple menial tasks or projects that I take on and trying to convey them in ways that people find interesting. Write about them in ways that people find interesting. Sometimes sometimes I'm successful. Sometimes I'm not. Oh wow, this is an entry about my sister's wedding. Holy crap! This is she got married in Arizona, and she had an outdoor wedding, and I remember it was like 110 degrees. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. So wait, I won't read that now. Just go to blog.duff.net and read until your eyes bleed. RJ is going to subscribe to see the review of the GT. Yeah. I will be reviewing it for sure. I will be giving you my honest opinion. Like a lot of I don't have a ton of one-wheel videos, but most of my one-wheel videos, Pint and XR, have a substantial amount of views. I know my original Pint review got a, I don't know how many views it has now, but probably 40,000, maybe something like that. All right, Cynthia, checking out. Yeah, I don't know that I probably won't stream again before Thanksgiving. So the next time I see you will be after Thanksgiving, more than likely. MEC, buy some Shiba crypto duff. Have fun with the NFT. No, I'm not buying NFTs, man. I do have some crypto. But yeah, I'm not buying NFTs, even though who knows? I mean, I probably said the same thing about Bitcoin. I'm not buying Bitcoin. Now I own some Bitcoin, but of course I own a fractional bit of Bitcoin. Thank you, Slew Dog. I appreciate the kind words. Okay, guys, my beer is it's done. My fridge is not empty, but I did get rid of the Corona at least, so that's a positive. No more Corona for me. I appreciate everybody stopping in. Again, I do post this as a podcast. You will find this on all the major providers. It'll be on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify. Those are the three that I posted to. And usually these do translate into semi-interesting podcasts. So yeah, if you're interested in listening to this in podcast form, this will be now episode 51. I have 51 episodes out there. So yeah, it's a good way to pass the time while you are driving. Take a look for it. I think you just have to search for Duff's PEV live stream. I believe that will get you there. So anyways, guys, hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to do my best to enjoy myself. That's all I have for now. Until next time, Duffman out. Yes.